Yo, we back with another one and another one and another one, man. This is What Wild Thinker Podcast, Stories Behind the Craft. I got another special guest coming all the way from Tallahassee to come fuck with us, man. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, man, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay the Nero, aka Lil Gleech, tapping in from 14 EP where we don't get no sleep, and if you don't work, then you don't eat.
Oh shit.
Yes, sir.
Got a whole slogan. Where you get that from?
Man, just a little brand that I'm in the process of building up and trying to get on out there, man. But basically, it's just the block that we on, and basically, it just embodies hustling,
I
pretty
feel
much.
that.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get no sleep, you don't work, you don't eat.
I feel that 100%. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you come from, things of that nature.
Yes, sir. From Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida. Um,
The most dangerous place in the world.
hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like it's it is what it is. Dangerous everywhere. You know, it's planet Earth everywhere dangerous. You know what I'm saying? The middle of the desert is dangerous if we be honest, cause that bit go from super high temperatures to below freezing temperatures. But man, Jacksonville, bro, it's a great place if you know how to move and do what you need to do. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what you was getting into in Jacksonville? 'Cause I never been.
Yeah, man. I was trying to play ball, man. I was trying to play football ever since I started. Well, nah, I ain't gonna even lie to you. The first time that my people took me out to the park to go play, shout out Forest View, Northside. Man, I did not want to go out there and play no football, bro. I was like, man, nah, I don't want to sign up and do this. And so my pops made me, and I'm glad that he made me because I loved it. I end up going out there and I'm like, boy, I love this. Like, it's fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being able to go and hit people, do whatever, whatever. And, especially like as a young kid, like, they be needing that to get that energy out somehow, some way. Nowadays everybody inside, they on electronic devices and all that. Nah, they need to get outside and play. And like that's what I've been on like my whole entire life. Like I was outside, and the thing was, I wasn't a bad kid because I definitely obeyed my parents. Like that was the main thing. Like I ain't never want to do anything to upset my people or look bad in my people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like if they would tell me, like I'm disappointed in what you did. Nah, that would tear me down inside because I'm like, I love my people. Shoot, they taking care of me and or whatever. I just love my people. And
100.
so, nah, like I was outside, and so I was just more mischievous. You know, curious about other type of stuff.
That's
Getting
a
in a
good
little.
word to use.
Yeah, I was more mischievous. So basically, it came to a point where I'd be outside and I just be playing or whatever, and I just get into little stuff, and then they like, all right, boy, like you need to come inside. You just chill out for a little bit. That's all.
I feel that.
Yeah,
So after you was doing the football stuff, what made you get into music?
man, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I've been kind of singing like my whole life. I done sung in the choir at church. I
That's lit.
sung all 4 years in high school in the concert choir, which we went to state all 4 years too. Shout out to Paxton. Um, but I didn't want to do music. I wanted to play ball, and that was the main thing that I was focused on. Like I was focused on trying to get me a scholarship to go play ball, and I ended up enrolling at FAMU, Florida A&M, in Tallahassee, Florida. And while I was up there, locked in with one of my homeboys. Shout out my boy Keon, and he put me on his friend Andy. Shout out to him too. And Andy basically had like a little studio set up in his crib. So he was like, man, you can sing a little bit. Like, they'll be in the dorm. We'll be in the dorm. They'll be freestyling and stuff like that. He was like, man, freestyle and sing. Like, even if you can't rap and freestyle, I want you to like just sing freestyle. Like, come off the dome and just sing something to this beat or whatever. And so I'm like, all right. And then we went, laid down our first track. And from the first time doing that, I was like, Oh no, I love this. Well, this is fun. I was like, I could do this every weekend. I could literally wake up and do this every weekend. Throughout the day, I could go and freestyle a new song, just create all that. But of course, I've been singing all my life, so it wasn't like it was nothing new to me. But it was like, nah, like the process of going, making something, and then going and laying it down, and then hearing it afterwards. Like I just fell in love with it. It was fun.
That's lit. So I got an unpopular opinion that I want to tell you about.
All
They say guys who sing are the most toxic
right.
out of the spectrum. So how do you feel about that?
um, toxic, toxic. It just what exactly if what exactly is the definition of toxic?
Doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, or doing something knowing that is not right.
Knowing that is not right.
If I might be wrong, but yeah,
Okay, because I was gonna say it all depends on the definition of toxic, right? But I feel like it all depends on a person's mind and their heart. So it's like, all right, you got a lot of people that can sing that are, doing this and doing that and doing that. But then you also do got, some that sing that be on that toxic side, right? It just depends on somebody's mind. Like, all right, you gonna use your singing to, cause of course, ladies, I don't care what nobody say, ladies love a man that can go and sing to them, for sure.
yeah, but think about this. Say you and that lady is done with each other, and you
Okay,
make a song about it. You constantly
yeah.
thinking about them. That's how they look at it.
I just think that's good. I just think that when it comes down to it, it just all depends on what they're gonna use their voice to do. Like it's a gift, just like God give everybody gifts. It's a gift, so it's like, all right. What's I love Spider Man, bro. With great power comes great responsibility. So it's like, all right, you gonna use that to, you know, for good, or you gonna use it to be toxic, or whatever the case may be. You gonna use it to attract women and have your way with them, or whatever the case may be, or you're gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna do this, this is that. But in your case, where you be like, all right, you done with a female and you still making songs about them, I just feel like, hey, you able to. I guess that wouldn't be more like if they can sing more, but like they more tuned in with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because if we think about it, music is emotion.
100%.
You feel me? Music is definitely emotion. It's all about the feel. Yeah, you got the rap where it's bars, this, that's this, that, right? But music that you can feel is always gonna be music that's gonna stand the test of time over anything. You feel me? And so it's like, all right, you compare you know, anybody. It's like, oh yeah, this rapper said this, that. But nah, this one made me feel this. This one made me, you know, it's all about the feeling, man. And music is vibration, so you gotta feel it.
So, what does music really mean to you, in your point of view?
Mm. I feel like music encompasses a lot of things, but mainly I say because I'm an artist slash producer slash engineer right now, because of course I got a while to go on this journey, right? But right now is connection, connection, and 100% real expression, right? So
Definitely.
I feel like the connection piece is like, of course, I don't know if you ever heard, but they like, if you wanna get somewhere fast, go by yourself. But if you wanna go far, you go with a team or you go with others, right?
That's
And so
100%.
you feel me? And so it's like, well, you know what? Uh, Michael Jackson wouldn't be Michael Jackson without Quincy Jones. Because what a lot of people don't know is, but Quincy Jones was behind a lot of that stuff that Michael Jackson can do. Michael Jackson just had the voice. But Quincy Jones know how to compose and he know how to write this and write that. Or just like with anybody that got ghostwriters or anything, they might have a voice, they might have a mental capacity to put down the bars and everything or whatever, right? But they like, man, I don't know how to do rap cadences, or I don't know how to, you know, say this in this format or whatever. It ain't, I'm learning that it's not just solely about that person. And then too, with connection, it don't even have to be connection with other people to get you there. It can be connection with the people that you are putting your music out to. You feel me?
I feel that.
You know what
So,
I'm
what
saying?
type of people do you want to kind of touch with your music for the people who don't know what you got going on?
Man, I want to touch everybody. So I feel like my music encompasses. Well, I can't even say that because I feel like I'm versatile when it comes to music. Like I grew up not listening to just rap music, especially not hard rap music. You know what I'm saying?
Me
Like
either.
the first rap music that I probably heard was Slick Rick and LL Cool J.
Hmm.
And LL Cool J, I need love. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Slick Rick. Once upon a time, not long ago, where people wore pajamas and live life slow. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so it's like, he telling the story, and then you got LL Cool J, emotion. I need love. You know what I'm saying? And
Felt that.
so, you know, I basically would say like with me, and then of course it wasn't just rap. Like I said, I'm listening to all type of stuff. My people playing gospel, they playing R&B, they playing the pop rock like Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's
They
lit.
playing, yeah, they playing all that. Like I got a whole gumbo pot of everything growing up. It was not just one type of music being played in the Fiat household. You feel me? So basically, I say what I wanna reach when it comes to people is I just want you to feel me, and I hope that whatever I'm experiencing or what I'm going through, somebody else going through, but I'm showing you like, man, you know, I got through it, or this is the way I feel about it, or just relatability. And the one thing I always take first and foremost is God.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I try to throw that in there. I try to always spin it in there because a lot of people don't get that. They like, oh well, did they just do it by themselves? No, like I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, I'm gonna say all this, but in the midst of that, I'm gonna let you know, like, man, I'm gonna be honest, like it was God that got me through this, or whatever the case may be.
Amen.
Straight up.
Definitely. So, you being an engineer, a producer, and an artist,
Mhm.
that puts you in a kind of advantage because you can make your own sound. You can do what you want to do as far as with your music. So, how is it being able to hold those hats and be able to do those different things and see music from a different aspect and those different lights?
Mm. Okay, that's good. I say it's not hard. It's more in the type of time where it's like, okay, since I am making the beat, engineering it, recording it, and rapping or doing whatever on it. It's more in the type of time like, does it sound good to me? And of course, I feel like as ourselves, especially for people that are really passionate about what we want to do, if you are really passionate, you're gonna always be your worst critic every time. You're gonna always be like, that could have been better. I could have fixed that a little bit, or that could have been louder. That ad lib could have been a little more this, that, and the fourth. You feel me? And so I just have to say it's like knowing that it's art. Like if you were to just say art broadly, right? The first thing that comes to mind when somebody just say art, you think about somebody that either draw or paint. At least that's what I think. They'd be like art. If you go to an art show, you going somewhere where it's like it's gonna be paintings and drawings or whatever, right? And I don't know if you ever been to like an art gallery or something, but when you go and you look at a piece of art, you like, what in the world is this? Sometimes you like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You like, it could just be a whole bunch of colors splashed on a portrait, but it could mean something to them. It could have been them getting their frustration out. They could have been upset. They like throwing this paint on there. Or it could mean, anger. Or it could just mean, you know, uh, uh, being a busybody. You know, you just never know. And
Where
so,
it comes from. I feel
yeah,
that 100%. I love art. I think art is a good expression other than music that you can get all your emotions, anxiety, pain,
exactly,
whatever you want out of that because you're telling your own story as you're coloring, drawing, or whatever the
exactly.
case may be. So that's lit for sure. So, what's your goals and your aspirations for this year?
Man, I actually, and this is a good thing to do. write down your goals and what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, one thing about it, we don't have full control, but at least if you write it down, like it's visually and mentally there, like, all right, this is what I'm working towards. And so I want to have 10K IG followers and 10K SoundCloud followers before the end of the year. And then the rest, I just want to just do better than I did last year.
What do you think some of the lessons you learned or obstacles you faced throughout your journey with music?
Mm. Patience. Patience more than anything. Patience. I'm going on, 6 years going into it. But it's like with the patience, right? You start to learn that, you know what? I'm glad that God made me wait because with the mindset that I had 2 years ago, and if I would have been on, I probably would have wasted it all away. And it's like you got to get that conditioning in because it's like, all right, when it do hit and it's there. One thing about it, anything that God give to you that you done worked on, is gonna be there forever. Can't be taken away. But it's like he got to make you go through something so that either you appreciate it, you know how to do right by it, or you just don't waste it away. And so that was, I would say, patience. Um, Definitely like learning like the business,
100%.
learning like the business aspect of things when it comes to everything. Because, of course, you know, sad to say, but the world revolves around the dollar bill.
It do.
It does. It's like, we want to think like, you know what, it shouldn't be all about money, but at the end of the day, when that rent due or that stomach grumbling, what's going
Gotta go out there and get it.
exactly. You don't work, you don't eat.
Definitely. So when you making your music, what is your process like? Because you're different from a lot of people because you have to train your voice to certain things. So what is your music process like?
Mm. Um, it's changed over the years, especially since I'm recording myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say it's more of I go off of how I feel that day. Everything that I make is off of how I feel that day, or experiences. Like let's say I'm in Orlando right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I brought the studio with me. It's at the B&B wherever we at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm gonna talk about what just happened today. Yeah, I just came on the podcast. What we all thinking. So I'm gonna let you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna incorporate that in there. So of course I'm taking experiences with everything, but I'm basically going off of how I feel in that moment. And like with me making beats, so I've gotten to a point where it's like I've slowed down on recording and focused a little bit more on producing because I just started producing with the end of 2022. So I'm more focused on like really trying to perfect that beat because I know that I'm gonna always have something to say on the mic.
Definitely.
Yo,
That's lit. So what would you say to the young black men out there that's trying to chase their music dream or just trying to chase their dream period?
trying to,
What would you say to them?
I would just say one, you gotta you get right with the Lord first. One thing about it,
Amen.
and one thing I learned too, right? You know, God don't want you to put nothing above Him. And sometimes we get caught in the fact that it's like, well, you know what? Like, okay, I say for me, right? I always felt like, if I would have put in a little bit more work and did a little bit more cone drills or hit the weight room harder, then I would have been successful in football, right? Or
Right.
whatever the case was. But it was like, nah, like you gotta remember, God got a plan for you to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope in the future. That's Jeremiah 29:11. So it's like
Amen.
you gotta put your faith in Him and know that He gonna carry you and guide you along the way. He wanna give you the desires of your heart. You feel me?
Right.
And so it's like you just do what you need to do when it comes to that, right? You do what you need to do. You do that work because, of course, faith without works is dead. So it ain't like you gotta be like, oh Lord, I want this, 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 and then not do nothing. No, of course it ain't gonna come because you're not putting no work in. But it's like you pray for it. Young Dolph said this: first I pray for it, then I hustle for it. And so that's what I live by and I stand on. Like I'm gonna pray for it first, and I'll be like, Lord, just show me the direction to go when it comes to it. Oh, okay, this is what you want me to do, and go and knock it out from there. And just that's the thing with the whole patience thing, right? Being patient. You gotta be patient and let him work behind the scenes. Let him set things up because what people don't realize, like, yeah, while you doing this, yeah, he's setting things up and putting things down, laying them tracks down so that train can come through nice, smooth, and easily. You feel me? Another thing I just say, like, you know, of course, people say not to or not to have a plan B because it take away from your plan A, but that ain't the dumbest thing. But the smartest thing is to always have a way of doing something else.
I think
I
I
said,
use it as a safety net.
yeah, be a jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? Different lanes, especially, all right, you know that this world, like, of course, I believe in happiness over anything, happiness and joy and peace of mind over anything. But of course, it's like, man, you gonna need you some money. You gonna need you some money. We're in America. You feel me? And so when it comes to that, be a jack of all trades, have different lanes of revenue. So it's like, all right, well, you know what? I'm doing music, but shoot, I also know how to, um, play an instrument or do this on the side. I also know how to, or I went to school for this, or I um know how to build this. I know I'm good with my hands, or whatever the case may be.
Definitely.
So yeah, I just say don't fully rely on one. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Perfect. Perfect thing right there. Not saying don't go hard at what you want, but it's all right to have a little something to, you know, be like, all right, well, you know what? I can fall back on this and still work on this.
I feel that. So I want to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh man. Mm. Any superpower. See, okay, that's hard, right? It's not hard, but the way I'm thinking, right? My first thought would be the power to heal because I
Mm.
work in a hospital. I work at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. And of course, I just see these patients day to day, and I'm like, man, like this is somebody grandma, somebody mom, somebody's son, daughter, whatever the case, uncle, whatever the case may be. And it's like, man, if I had the ability to just lay my hand on them and they heal and get right and be able to go home to their family and be all right, like that would, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That would be amazing to me. You know, I feel like choosing a superpower is all depending on somebody's heart and their mind. Like, all right, some people say, yeah, I'd be invisible, or this is that and the force, so I could get away with stuff, or super speed to rob banks and all type of stuff. But it's like, nah, like I want to do something to help. That's what having a superpower would be. It's a
that's
superpower.
facts though.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. So if you want to take a girl on a date, what's the first date looking like?
Mm, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm indecisive, right? I'm real indecisive when it comes to stuff, especially when it comes to stuff with women. That's why I let them figure out all that and be like, where do you want to go? What you want to do? But I mean, first date, like I said, I'm not picky when it comes to. Of course, I would want to involve something that have to do with eating or going out to eat or something like that. And it could be a chain of things. It could be bowling and going out to eat and whatever the case, or movies, this, that, and the fourth. I would like to involve or incorporate eating in there because one thing about it, like, bruh, women love to eat, bruh. That's a fact. You
100%.
know what I'm saying? Women love to eat, bruh. Like, you treat them to something to eat, bruh. They love that. And so, yeah, nah, it ain't gotta be nothing special. Like I said, I'm indecisive when it come to that. So it's like whatever you wanna do. Well, where you wanna go? You pick and choose. It's like, all right, well, don't expect root Chris on the first date, but like whatever you want to do.
I feel that. So now, if you could pick 5 dinner guests, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Mm.
From your table.
From my table, my brother Mike,
Mm-hmm.
my grandma Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
um, Mm. Give me Tupac. Give me Michael Jackson. I'm at four, right?
Hmm.
Give me Jesus.
What's the conversation?
Man, anything. I'm not talking. I'm listening. Of course, like for my brother and my grandma, like, well, okay. So my grandma, when I was born, she had a stroke, and
Hmm.
so basically, like, I always was seeing her in a nursing home. I never really got to really build a relationship like that with her.
Mm.
And it's like, I see all these people that, they'll have their grandma and, like, especially for like young black males, boy, like, but grandma, that's,
Everything.
yeah, you feel me? And of course, like, I have my grandma on my dad's side, and I love her to death. But like, this was like one of them grandmas, like, I really wish I would have got to, you know, build a real strong relationship with you, especially from the stories that I heard about her and stuff like that. And of course, my brother Mike, boy, we gonna kick it and laugh, and you know, we gonna do us. That's my brother. But Tupac, Mike, Jack, and Jesus, I'm just listening. At that point, I'm like, man, what do y'all have to tell me? Because you got Michael Jackson, like one of the biggest artists in the world. Tupac, another person, like so many. He was literally so many things embodied in one person: an activist, gangster, poet, uh, uh,
Actor.
actor, and then of course we got Jesus, the,
The creator.
the God, in flesh, basically. So it's like, man, yeah. At that point, I'm just all ears, just like, you know. I just
Yeah,
want to hear whatever you have for me. Let me soak up whatever you have for me.
definitely. So, what if you were sitting at a table with Jesus and he told you all the wrong you was doing? What would you take from that?
Mm. I ain't gonna lie. First of all, to be in his presence at that point, which of course, like, mm, I was gonna say I had to switch it, but it's like, shoot, it shouldn't have to be for me to be in front of him to switch what I'm doing, especially if I know it's wrong. You feel me?
Definitely.
But it's like, man, I just definitely have to, I'll be like, man, my bad. And the thing is, the one thing about it is like having a relationship with God, like you and God both know what you're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he wouldn't even have to tell me. Like, I feel like he would sit in front of me and be like, "You know what you're doing wrong. Like, tighten up. All right, my bad." You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that's just how I feel about that.
Definitely. So, if you could name, if a book was made about you, what would you name it?
If a book was named about,
Yeah, basically a biography.
hmm, hmm, naming a book. See, this my okay. When you say that, now my artist mind come into play because I got to think about wordplay and all that, and I want it to be a word that's like popping out to you, but also got a meaning. You feel me? But mm, I just say if I had to choose a word, just one word or just a
A
title
title. A title.
okay, title period. I say I'll just say nothing to something,
I like that.
nothing to something.
I like that. So, would you rather be loved or feared?
Mm. Well, I feel like the only person you should fear is God. So I don't want to be feared, and I feel like everybody want to be loved. Everybody want to be loved, but you know, I want the right love, and so it's just like, yeah, I basically say, you know, if you can't give me the right love, then I don't want either of them. Cause I don't want to be feared. You know,
100.
I don't want to walk in no room and be feared. You only supposed to fear God. Because one thing about it, you can be humbled. People that are feared are doing something in order for people to fear them. And one day they have to be humble for it. You got to, because God the only person that's supposed to be feared. You feel me?
100%.
So yeah, like
So, if you could look back and look at yourself in the mirror, what would you tell yourself?
mm, I tell myself to not stop, to not have stopped running track. I wish I would have never stopped running track. For real. Back in the day, I wish I would never stop running track. And I just tell myself like, man, just always have faith. Have faith that everything getting worked out how it's supposed to be, and know that you know you gonna be great. You just do the right thing.
100%. Any free game you want to leave with the people, you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Yes, sir. So, um, man, chase your dreams and go at it 1,000%, 1,000,000%. Give it all you got, man, to your last. You know, that
100%.
embodies faith. That's like, Lord, I got faith that you gonna do this, so I'm gonna go all at it because I know you gonna, you know what I'm saying?
100.
Especially if it's something that is in the right path or whatever,
100.
you know. Hustle hard, you know. And hustling don't have to be just drug dealing or all type of stuff, you know, or pertaining to that. You know,
100.
hustling can be for that hooper that trying to make that basketball team. Make sure you go and you put that work in. For somebody that's trying to get that money or whatever, you know, make sure you go in and you cutting that grass and doing it right. You go in and you trying to sell that candy. You go in and you trying to promote that business.
Definitely.
You know, you putting that work in. Just make sure you always putting that work in for what you want.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, shout out to you, man. Push as much as you can. I didn't tell your boy this, but keep going. Don't stop. I like
Yes,
to
sir.
tell all the artists that when they come in, because you in a business where it's very saturated, where a lot of people is trying to get to the next level. And I hope you make it.
Yes, sir.
I want
Appreciate
you to
that.
make it.
Appreciate
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Especially you keeping God first. A lot of people ain't doing that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Sure. So without further ado, man, this is the concludes the podcast. This is What We're All Thinking Podcast. Stories Behind the Craft. We out. Peace.
Hey, what's that?